All right, game week. It's exciting, but it's a total gear shift in terms of the mental intensity, the preparation required, the urgency, staff and players. You know, stacking moments, meetings, practices, days to put ourselves in the best position to play as well as we can on Saturday. You know, against a team that I really respect, Old Dominion, a conference that I respect a lot. Obviously, we've talked about the history of the Sun Belt teams, current members of the Sun Belt, and the Blue Bloods that they have defeated. You know, it's a who's who in the top 15. And, you know, last year, Old Dominion opened the season at South Carolina. Final score is 23-19. South Carolina beat them by 4. It's a hard place to play. I know that from being at Alabama. Old Dominion's got the lead with 6 minutes to go and has the ball, fumbles inside their own 10. Did it twice in the game. South Carolina's touchdown drives were 6 and 2 yards. I mean, they were extremely fortunate to beat Old Dominion. So, all but one of Old Dominion's losses last year were by 1 score or less. And like I've told you in the past, you know, I've beaten Virginia Tech twice in recent history. So we got to be ready to go. It's all about us and our preparation, having the right mindset, and going out there and playing our brand of ball with a bunch of new faces. Questions?
Yeah, Curt, you talked about kind of each of your teams having a unique identity and personality. Now that you had a kind of a full off season with this group and got to know them in the locker room, what do you like about them, and anything that makes them unique to other teams you've coached?
Well, you know, I like where we're at coming out of camp in terms of how we practice, how we compete. And the identity is sort of established throughout the season once you start playing the games. And at the end of the year, we'll be able to write the book, close the book on this football team. Like I've said before, we've got a lot of nice pieces, got a lot of new guys. They'll be playing their first football for us. So anxious to see how we respond and react, but it's my job to get us to play the way we're supposed to play. My job and the assistants. Play in, play out till the game's over, from first play to last play.
Zach, on your left side.
Curt, I guess sort of a double-barrel question on just the health of your team. Do you feel good about where you are going into week one health-wise? And do you feel like you also had what you needed health-wise through fall camp to get healthy competition, that you had guys competing for spots without injuries affecting that, you know, 11 on 11, those settings were really productive?
Yeah, I feel really good about the health of our team right now going into the opener. During camp, we did have some guys in and out defensively at times, and one offensive lineman missed a little time, but it's healthy now. So overall, I'm pleased with where we're at.
Seth, on your left, and Pete.
Curt, one thing that so many guys said about Curtis' work last year was just how even-keeled he was as a leader, just, you know, not getting too high, not getting too low. I know you obviously aren't able to see how Fernando's going to handle big moments on the field at this point because he hasn't been out there yet. But what sorts of leadership qualities have you seen from him? How do the guys kind of rally around him?
Well, you know, he's played a lot of football, so I've got a lot of confidence in him. And I think what you saw last season, as Curtis started to produce at a high level in the games, then his leadership and his status with his teammates. I've never made it a point to try to make the new quarterback the leader of the team. Our focus has always been on developing him, making him the best he can be, because you lead through your actions, and there's nothing like positive performance to establish yourself as a leader.
Yeah, Curt, can you assess the offensive line, and in particular, what qualities, what attributes make a quality offensive line?
Well, you got to have a certain amount of size, and you got to be tough, ankle, knee, hip flexibility, explosive power, you know, initial quickness. And, you know, the ability to stay healthy really helps. And the smarter you are, the better, because there's a lot of variables up front and multiples. A lot of things happen where you got to make quick adjustments. So we're fortunate to have a pretty experienced group, and I feel good about them.
Sam, on your right, and Jared.
Coach, a quarterback, Colton Joseph, led the Sun Belt in total yards last year. What makes him so hard to defend? And then their defense returns an All-American at linebacker and a couple other good players. What makes them a challenge to prepare for?
Right. Offensively, it all begins with the structure and design of the offense. They're going to spread you out, big wide splits, force you to defend the whole field, and with the box count and the advantage throws and get the run game going. They've always been high in the conference in rushing, and they do a really nice job. The quarterback can beat you with his legs and his arm. He missed a game and a half. He didn't take over as a starter till maybe game 4, and missed a game or so. Him and the backup together rushed for about 900, and threw for about 2,000. Touchdown interception ratio was good. So, they try to create space through their alignments and take advantage and put themselves in the best play. They've got 3 or 4 offensive linemen returning, both quarterbacks, and then they lose their skill guys. They've got some new guys coming in. Defensively, it's a 3-3 defense, a little different than what you see. Variety of blitzes and looks. It's a challenge. And Jason Henderson returns at middle linebacker. He got hurt last season early in the year, redshirted. Had 170 tackles in 2023. I think he led the country in tackles.
Jared and Jim.
In terms of game day operation with the assistants, do you expect it to be the same as last year with Coach Shanahan in the booth and then Haynes on the field? And then Coach Whitmer, is he going to kind of take on the same responsibilities as Tino had last year?
Yep.
Jim and Zach B.
Coach, last year over this year, what did you learn about going in? I know you've been doing this for a long time, but game preparation, game 1, for getting this team in order, anything different than you've done year over year?
Not really. I mean, I think the core methods are about the same. It's just the sense of urgency during game week is so much different. They're all excited to play, and now we've got to put the proper preparation in and understand that while they're excited to play, the game's going to be hard. I expect a very tough challenge from Old Dominion, and we're going to have to play really well from the first play to the last play. And we'll learn a lot about our team in game 1 like we did last season.
Zach B in front, then Joe.
Coach, with the talent and depth in the running back room, how do you plan to rotate through those guys at least the first couple of weeks of the season to figure out who maybe can lead that backfield going forward?
We've always split the carries. Right now, the top 3 backs are Hemby, Black, and Beebe, and I expect them all to carry the ball Saturday.
Joe in front, and Daniel.
You've talked highly about strength coach Derek Owens ever since you got here. What's the report card you've gotten through fall camp leading into this game week?
What sort of what?
What's the report card on how the team's doing in the weight room from Derek Owens?
Good. And I thought we handled practice as well, and we stayed relatively injury-free. So, yeah, he does a good job.
Daniel and Josh on the right.
At corner opposite Ponds, how happy are you with how Jamari's last handful of weeks have been, and just how much did Rylan and is it Bell that's kind of also in there? How much has he kind of challenged him as well?
Yeah, well, I thought Sharp really came on at the end of last season. He started the last 3 or 4 games for us, and he's picked up where he left off, got a lot of confidence in him. Gandy's played a lot of football coming from Pitt as a starter, and Jalen Bell's a good young prospect.
Josh, then we'll come back to his.
You talked after the first fall practice that you were focused on Old Dominion. How nice is it to have the sole focus and have the team's full attention on game week?
Well, hopefully we have their full attention throughout the week and on Saturday, right? But, yeah, camp is important. You're establishing the habits that are going to carry you through the season, installing, developing players, learning about your team. Now it's time to go to war, and it's serious business now.
His last one.
I'm not asking about Lewis Moore's court case is this week, and he could find out about his eligibility. Not asking about the case, but in terms of football prep, with his uncertainty, how have you kind of handled it, as you kind of shift to game week and not knowing if you're going to have him or not? Is it like, guy injured where you kind of have a backup plan in place? How have you kind of balanced that with just not knowing yet?
We're handling it the best way we see fit.